It's a legitimate question. Is the cult still strong?
Are we on a good path or a bad path or what?
Yeah, I think we're on a good path. I think the only issue in the country is inflation, probably.
What do you say to the president who has helped to increase this inflation, more so than any modern president?
I'm a big Trump fan. I just think his, printing is an issue of his. Printing money. I think he likes to do that. This is his only issue, yeah.
That's his only issue?
To me, yeah.
Or do we think that it is decaying?
I am ex-MAGA, ex-Christian nationalist, ex-white supremacist, ex-Mormon. I'm not far left as a reaction to being far right because I just had to hop into another cult. I'm far left because I know what's in the far right. And if you knew the things that I knew, you would be too.
Are people starting to wake up? Maybe.
Not into politics, but I know what's right and what's wrong.
And what's wrong right now?
The way Trump is treating us and treating us poor people. I mean, it's bad because he's never been poor. He's always had that gold spoon in his mouth ever since the day he was born.
What would you tell him?
Go take a hike and let somebody else have a job.
And are they potentially seeing the light that they have been completely duped by this movement?
I actually have panic attacks. I've had a couple this past week, and I get very emotional over it. I don't want to work anymore, but I can't afford to retire.
Obviously, President Trump is immensely wealthy, has been wealthy since he was born.
Yeah.
Do you think he understands?
No. He hasn't lived it to understand it.
He promised to impose tariffs that would bring back American manufacturing.
Don't get me started.
Had a couple months to try and get a new job. What has that process been like?
Depressing.
He's backtracked on every single pitch point he had during his election. He's backtracking on. I think Trump is more concerned with getting even with his opponents this time around than he was looking out for the average Joe. Some
who have defected have even chimed in with what they would say to the guy that they used to love, POTUS, Donald John Trump.
If you could talk to President Trump directly right now, what would you tell him?
Should you want me to really say it on air? I say, you. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to any leader, but he's disrespectful to us, and he doesn't care.
Here's the problem with all of this. There are so many that remain and are also still very much in the cult as strong supporters.
My dream is, I hope, I'm 66 now. I hope at the end of my life, if I live a long life like my father did, he made it to 93, I hope as I'm on my way out, the last great thing I witnessed in this country is President Barron Trump. Don't forget it, King Barron Trump. King Barron Trump.
As we have seen over and over and over again, they twist themselves into pretzels defending this administration.
You really think the only issue with Donald Trump is that he's added to inflation?
Yes.
What about the war, that there's no intelligence that there was an imminent threat?
Listen, I think there are threats against his life that makes them an enemy.
And I know that there are death threats for every single president in modern history. There have been death threats, but not one president has taken us to war because of your rationale, you saying because there's a threat to the president. That's what the Secret Service is for. That's what our military is for. It's not to go over to somewhere else and pay for a war because you think that they're threatening the president of the United States' life.
But when people threaten you, you push back and you scare people.
No one threatened the United States.
Iran does it every day.
But there was
to America. What are you talking? There are a million terrorist organizations.
But there's not a rocket or a missile or anything that can reach the United States
right now. But we have to stop it while it's before it's too late.
But we have less control over it now that we've done this than we did before. Barack Obama had a deal in place that was preventing that from happening, preventing them from getting a nuclear weapon. He was doing it through diplomacy, and he wasn't doing it through a war.
But for those who have left, they broke down a pillar of MAGA's influence, and it is not going to surprise you in the slightest.
We are in the United States of algorithms right now, and MAGA media is very efficacious. It's very effective and it's very disciplined.
Very quickly, if you can, become a paid channel member or go to Buy Me a Coffee to support this channel. Thank you.
And they made me watch a documentary on January 6th, and I didn't even know what happened on January 6th prior to the PBS documentary. And I looked at him and I said, Scott, did that really happen? And he was like, where have you been?
It's so hard for people because I said it's not that you're dumb, you were fooled. That's incredibly hard to admit.
Rich, as you saw right there, is the leader and founder of Leaving MAGA. Here is, in his own words, why he started it.
We all have a need for community. Our species yearns for a communal existence. And what MAGA does provide is a place where people feel seen and heard and recognized, and some of their very valid fears and concerns are acknowledged and validated. We used to say, we're not in the cult, the outside world is the cult, and we're not the crazies, the outside world are the crazies.
He has tried to make amends with plenty of people that he has wronged for his past views.
Well, let me just preface by apologizing to viewers for my past MAGA activism and my support of Donald Trump. When Trump ran, I fell for the lies that he would drain the swamp and would root out corruption. And he was correct in pointing out the graft and the fraud and the abuse. But what he has done is he has continued to enrich himself and his own family at the expense of the American people. I realized that Trump was lying and that I had allowed myself to believe these lies, which eventually led to my leaving of MAGA. And I think that there are more than ever who are in the MAGA community who right now are having doubts about their support for Donald Trump. We have a nationwide billboard campaign, and our message is very simple on the campaign. It's having doubts, you're not alone. And for those who might be seeing this, who right now are starting to question their beliefs, are starting to perhaps feel confused, they're wondering if the MAGA movement comports with their values anymore, we want them to know that they're not alone.
I have said this a few times. We all have MAGA family members. We all have a degree, close proximity, or a degree of proximity to this cult. And yes, I call it a cult because it is a cult. What we need to find, again, as I've stated before, is seeing these degrees of separation that a person who is still, amazingly, if there is one, a strong supporter of the Trump-Vance duo and this fascistic administration. And once you see that little wedge that is driven between the person you know and the MAGA movement, you must really, as best you can, drive that wedge even further and start asking questions more and more and more. It is impossible. I am well aware. I understand that. But if we want our country back, if we want to have at least a level of decorum that it feels like we haven't had in many, many, many years, then we really need to try. I know it is impossible. I have had those days where I contemplate it, but I am telling you, the only way forward is working class unity. That is it. If Fred Hampton can do it, you can too.